loves, it is she, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and please do me a favor, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are not, thank you for coming back and tuning in and joining me on this journey. Today's tutorial is going to be my all day long wearing summer makeup base foundation routine. For me, I have the strangest skin. I have the driest, most oily skin like known to man. It's so weird. It's like once everything comes off, my skin is extremely dry and extremely flaky and kind of tight. But as soon as I put makeup or anything on my face, like my face just brings out all of the oils in makeup. I don't know what it is. It's so weird. Once I put on makeup, after a couple hours, I like an oil slick. So for me, I have been trying a few different foundations, a few different techniques to figure out what is that combination that makes my face lock in place and stay in place all day, and the oils aren't like poking out through my T-zone throughout the day. If you would like to see my all day long wearing summer foundation, then stay tuned. Okay, first things first, I am going to start by powdering my face. This is a technique that I learned from Auntie Jackie here on YouTube, and that is just essentially laying down a layer of powder prior to putting on your foundation. Now this is major key to your foundation lasting all day, and since I saw her video doing this, I have literally not been able to stop doing this. For me, and the powder that I am using my Ebony Topaz powder, and this is a orange orange setting powder, luxury powder. And this does three things for me. It actually not only controls the oils in my skin throughout the day and keep me more matte, but it also blurs the pores, and also being that it's orange, it counteracts some of the hyperpigmentation that I have. So this has been like major key. So if you don't do anything else, I will go in with a layer of just finely milled powder before putting on your foundation. It really does prep the skin. You want to make sure you do this after you prime your face. So I've already primed, I've already moisturized, I've already primed, and then I go in with this layer of powder. This has literally changed the game and kept my foundation just locked in place all day. So whatever is the setting powder of your choice, I choose a orange tone powder, again because it helps with counteracting some of the hyperpigmentation. But honey, you have to go in with a powder. This has literally saved my foundation. Now if you are on the drier side, you might want to skip this step if you have really dry skin, because this really does suck up the oils in your skin, and if you're already dry, then this may be uncomfortable underneath your makeup. But for me, it is perfect, and I probably won't do this during the winter time, but being that it is summer and I am more oily than normal during the summertime, I definitely will recommend this step. As far as foundation, my favorite long wearing foundation is actually a drugstore foundation, and it is the Neutrogena Nourishing Long Wear Makeup, and it has a tone correcting complex, and it also has SPF 20 in it. You want to make sure that whatever foundation you're using, especially during the summer and the spring, definitely has SPF. And I absolutely love this. Bella, cut it. And it has it's the 12-hour long wearing foundation, and I'm in the color Chestnut. Now this foundation is a little thick. Like if I hold it upside down, you can see like nothing is dripping. It is a little thick. Even though it's thick, it's not extremely heavy. But this is definitely my go-to for if I want my foundation to last all day. It is definitely long wearing, and I love the finish. Like it reminds me of Lancome's Tinty Doll as far as the formula, but a portion of the price. So I just go on, and I wish it had a pump, but it does not. But I just go in and I dab that all over my face, and I just go in with a kabuki brush and blend that right into the skin. Now after I go on my foundation, if I still have a few spots peeking through, I then go in with my NYX Gotcha Covered Total Coverage Concealer, and I am in the shade Deep, and I just go in and conceal those few spots that are peeking in for the maximum amount of coverage. I just tap that in with my fingers. And excuse my two friends here, my skin has been going crazy lately. I've been trying a few new products, and my skin is definitely not feeling it. For concealer, I like to do something a little more lightweight in the summer, but it still has that staying power that's not too thick, not too heavy, but it is full coverage and it will stay in place all day. It will not move around. And for me, that is the MAC ProLongwear concealer. And this is the liquid one, and I am in the shade, or I use the shade NC45. I'm just going to go right in with my Real Technique sponge and blend that right in. Now you definitely want to make sure that you set your entire face during the summertime. That is key to locking in that makeup and really making it last throughout the day. I don't see how people go without setting their under eye or setting their face. I've seen people do it. Me, I cannot. I absolutely have to set my face or I will be a complete oil slick. So for me, I'm going to use the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder for right underneath my eyes and to set everywhere where I highlighted. I'm just going to go in with that same Real Technique sponge and just press this right into my skin. Now I'm going to take that Laura Mercier powder on the flat side of my Real Technique sponge, and I'm going to press that all over the rest of my face. I want to go a little hand with this powder, but after we go in with setting spray, it's going to all melt together. For me, I load my face up with powder during the summertime. Like, if I don't, like, you do not understand how I would just be a hot mess. So for me, it seems like a lot, but for me, this is what really works. This is what really sets my face in and locks it in all day. And then after I kind of go in and just kind of lay that Laura Mercier down, I'm going to go in with my what is this? This is my Morphe E59. It's a pretty dense brush. I go with my Topaz part just to warm back up my complexion, and I go in and then I really set my face with this brush and really push that powder into my skin. Make sure you get your smile lines if you have deep set smile lines like I do. Thanks, Dad. And then the same on my forehead. And then just go back over those spots where we highlighted just to make sure everything is blended. Now if you have lost your brows a little bit, just go through them with a brush and brush off some of that excess powder. Speaking of brows, while we are here, I usually fill in my brows with a pencil, but when I really want them to last all day, I go over top of that with my NYX eyebrow gel. This is waterproof, and when I tell you, this stuff, I wish I had the cap that I usually put it on top of. It's literally built up that I can't even get off because this says dried rock solid. So once this goes on, like, these brows aren't going anywhere all day. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on my cap here. And then I'm going to just brush a little bit of this through my brow hairs just to set that that brow pencil in place and make sure that my brows do not budge all day. And just break this through my brows. And this is in the shade Brunette. Now our brows are set. Now I don't really like to cream contour during the summertime just because I like to use as minimal amount of product as possible, even though I know I've just like packed my face on with powder. But I do not like to cream contour. I go in with powder just to bronze up my complexion. And today I'll be using the Black Radiance, what is this? The Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Ebony. Now for blush, I'm going to go into my E.L.F. blush palette in the shade Dark, and I am just going to pick this shade right here in the bottom corner. Really quick, can we talk about this blush palette that I picked up from Sephora? I'm actually going to be doing a full face using only Sephora brand products video coming soon. And I walked in, I saw this blush palette, I felt like I just absolutely had to have it. It's both for my skin tone, blushes and highlighters. This highlighter I can tell right here is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous shade. And then they have some matte blushes along with some shimmery blushes. So I'm really, really excited to use this palette. So stay tuned for that video. It should be up shortly after this one. But for today's highlight, I'm going to be using my MAC Skin Finish that I always use. This is my absolute go-to when I want something that's more natural, not too blinding. And that's what I'm going for today. And I'm just going to take the gold. I'm just going to take the gold from the top of it and just lightly highlight my face. Go right underneath the brow bone. And then the final step for me before I even do my eyeshadow is I go ahead and completely set my face. So for me, my favorite setting spray is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boost Mist. I absolutely love this. It has a amazing smell. And then it really locks the face into place, but then it also gives it this nice sheen and healthy glow to the skin. So I absolutely love this setting spray. And that is pretty much it for the skin. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes and my lips off of camera. So I have went ahead and did my eyeshadow and put on my lip. As you can see, I was feeling pink today, so that's what I went with. But essentially that is it, dolls. Again, just to recap, for me, the key to long lasting all day wearing makeup during the summertime that does not get cakey and that does not get oily is one, making sure that you lay down that powder again before you even start your foundation. After you moisturize, after you prime, go ahead and set your entire face with that layer of translucent powder or the powder of your choice. Again, if you are dry, I will stay away from this, but if you are oily combination like me, then I would definitely go ahead and lay down that layer of powder. Then two, you want to make sure you have a nice long wearing foundation. 12 hours plus, especially if you're going to be outside, out in the sun, out in the heat. You want to make sure you have a long wearing foundation that's maybe a satin or semi-matte, maybe not too glowy, not too dewy, especially if you are oily. And three, you want to make sure that after you go ahead and lay down your entire base, make sure you set your face with your favorite setting powder, translucent powder. You have to set your face if you are oil slick like me, honey. If you do not, your face is just going to melt off in the sun, in the heat, especially out here in Georgia. Georgia gets really, really hot. And then finally, you just want to make sure that you set your face with your favorite setting spray to make sure that you lock in that makeup, make sure all that powder and everything just melts into the face, and then it holds your face in place all day. So I hope you dolls enjoyed this video and that you learned something. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment before you leave, and I will see you dolls in my next video.